Okay, this is going to be your notes for lesson 2-3. You'll need your blue foldable out, so go ahead and pause the video and get that out if you don't already have it. Alright, today we're talking about subtracting integers. Okay, and you can see on the key concept here it says to subtract an integer, add its additive inverse. Meaning you're just going to change all subtraction problems to an addition problem and change the sign of the second number. So right now go ahead and get your foldable out, lift up the subtraction flap, and this is what you're going to write. This is your rule for subtracting integers. Okay, so write this down. You're going to change all subtraction problems Sorry, my handwriting is so bad. I am writing on that airliner. Change all subtraction problems to an addition problem. By changing the sign of the second number. Okay, then follow the rules for addition. Okay, now add this down there. This will go under that. Underneath that, you need to put down some examples. If I have 6 minus 4, again, you've done this since kindergarten. What is 6 minus 4 is 2. You know that. And you really don't have to change this one, but let's keep doing it just so we can practice. This said to change all subtraction problems to an addition problem, so I've got to change that to 6 plus what? And then so I have to change the sign of the second number. Right now that's a positive 4, so I'm going to change that to a negative 4 because it says change all subtraction problems to an addition problem by changing the sign of the second number. Then follow the rules for addition. Well, what was my rule when I was adding with unlike signs? You're going to subtract, okay, what's 6 minus 4? 2, and take the sign of the larger number with the largest absolute value, which is going to be 6. So that's my answer is going to be a positive 2. Okay, you knew that. That's nothing new for you. All right, but what if I did this? What if I did a negative 6 minus 4? Okay, now that's different than what you've done since very beginning because you've thrown that negative in there. But again, just follow the rule that I just gave you. Change it to an addition problem. Plus, by changing the sign of the second number, right now that's a positive 4, so I'm going to make that plus a negative 4. Then follow your rules for addition. What's negative 6 plus negative 4? I'm adding with like signs, so I just add and keep the sign. My answer would be negative 10. Okay, what if I had positive 6 minus a negative 4? Okay, and I just put that negative 4 in parentheses only to keep so you don't get your minus sign and your negative sign confused. But again, that's just going to be what? 6 plus, change the sign of my second number to, since it's a negative, I'm going to change it to a positive, and 6 plus 4 is just 10. All right, what if I had negative 6 minus a negative 4? Okay, same thing, negative 6 plus, change the sign of my second number, it's a negative, so it's going to become a positive. Now I'm adding with unlike signs, so I subtract and take the sign of the larger number. So my answer is a negative 2. Okay, so that should all be in your foldable. Now this you can put in your notes. The rest of this you can put in your notes. Here we go. Let's just practice some. Subtract a positive integer. Here we go. 9 minus 14. So what do? Well, that becomes 9 plus, change the sign. Right now it's a positive 14, so then it's going to become a negative 14. And 9 plus negative 14 is what? Adding with unlike signs, so you subtract. 14 minus 9 is 5, and take the sign and the number with the largest absolute value. So it's going to be a negative 5. Okay? Here we go. Next one. Negative 9 minus 13. All right, here we go. Make it an addition problem. Negative 9 plus, right now it's a positive 13, so I'm going to make that a negative 13. I'm adding with like signs now, so what do? You just add and keep the sign. 13 plus 9, if you're not sure, you can always work it out over on the side, is 22. And I'm going to keep my sign, so my answer would be A, negative 22. Okay, look at the next one. Subtracting again. Negative 10 minus 8, so that's going to become negative 10 plus, changing the sign of that second number, negative 8. Adding with like signs, so I add and keep the signs. Negative 18. Okay, we're getting it? Best thing to do is just practice it over and over and over. Just like you practice in football or soccer or volleyball or cheerleading or whatever. You just got to keep on practicing. All right, look at this one. Negative 11 minus negative 7. Well, negative 11 plus, change the sign. Right now it's a negative 7, so it becomes a positive 7. What's negative 11 plus 7? I'm adding with unlike signs, so I'm going to subtract, so I get 4. Take the sign of the number with the largest absolute value, negative 4. Okay? All right, here we go. 6 minus 8. Okay, pause the video, do this one, and check yours against mine. All right, 6 minus 8, that's going to become 6 plus negative 8. I'm adding with unlike signs, so what do? I subtract. 8 minus 6 is 2, and take the sign of the number with the largest absolute value, so my answer would be choice B, negative 2. Okay? All right. What about this one? Negative 12 minus 5. Excuse me, negative 5. So that's going to become what? Negative 12 plus, change the sign of my second number. Right now it's negative. It's going to become a positive 5. Adding with unlike signs. So I subtract. Take the sign of the larger number, or the number with the largest absolute value. So it's going to be a negative 7, or choice D. Alright, sorry, I'm having a hard time getting it to go to the next slide. Give me a second here. Let's see what I can do. There we go. Alright, 15 minus negative 4 becomes what? 15 plus a positive 4. And then this is like we've always done. 15 plus 4 is 19. Okay, again, just keep on practicing. Alright, 8 minus negative 2. Try this one. Pause the video, do it, and then check it. 8 plus, change that sign, a positive 2, and 8 plus 2 is 10. Okay, we're getting the hang of it. Everybody's getting it by now? Alright, let's try another kind. Evaluate the algebraic expression. Alright, x minus y plus z. If x is equal to 4, y equals negative 5, and z equals negative 14. So let's plug them in first. I've got 4 minus negative 5. And again, I'm just going to put that in parentheses so my minus sign and my negative sign don't get confused. Plus negative 14. Okay, well, how do I know what to do first? Follow your order of operations. Order of operations doesn't go away just because you're throwing integers in there. Still have to follow that same order of operations. So there wasn't any parentheses or exponents, multiplication or addition. So we're just going to do multiplication or division, excuse me. We're just going to do our addition and subtraction left to right. So I've got to do this part first. So that's really going to become what? I got to change that to an addition problem. 4 plus a positive 5. And what's 4 plus positive 5? 9 plus a negative 14. adding with unlike signs, so I subtract and take the sign of the number with the largest absolute value, -5. Okay? So order of operations, again, doesn't go away. All this stuff in math, you can't, just because we move on for something, you can't forget it. It is all going to come back sooner or later. All right, pause the video and do this one, and then check your work. All right, m minus n. All right, well, m is -9 minus n, which is -3. Change that to an addition problem. -9 plus, change the sign of that number, so that's going to become a +3. And -9 plus a +3, adding with unlike signs, so I'm going to subtract and take the sign of the number with the largest absolute value. So it's going to be -6. Okay? So make sure you're keeping up with your foldable, you're keeping up with all of your notes, and learning these rules. Just got to go ahead, and if you don't already know them, you need to be memorizing them. All right, have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow.